That man them fighting teams, them not get scared. I'm really good at my hood, I'm not like them, so don't compare me. Nap time to the block get scared. You don't wanna lose your life, but the youngest cheat with the largest knife. Trust me, it's a scary sight. One boop boop and you lose your mind. When I slide with broke up me. We slide up town, should I still in the key? And my mates in town, she ain't about to dream till I wait and see. 24's on grind and hard, you can see in my eyes that I don't get sleep. That man them fighting teams.
The fuck?
I'm really good at my hood, I'm not like them, so don't compare me. Nap time to the block get scared. You don't wanna lose your life, but the youngest G with the largest life. Trust me, it's a scary sight.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop.
I'm really good at my hood, I'm not like them, so don't compare me. Nap time to the block get scared. You don't wanna lose your life, but the youngest G with the largest life. Trust me, it's a scary sight.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop.
I'm really good at my hood, I'm not like them, so don't compare me. Nap time to the block get scared. You don't wanna lose your life, but the youngest G with the largest life. Trust me, it's a scary sight.
Boop, boop. What's up, Maven Shorts? Okay, we'll have a little bit of fun. We're just chilling, dogs. Can you hear the music? I think you can hear the music, yeah? Because I got music going this time. I got nothing to do, so I was like, fuck, I'm just chilling, right? So I might as well sit on stream, dude. I'm just like sitting here doing nothing, so I'm just on Twitter, dog. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Okay, you know what I want to do? The next Guru Gauntlet. Yeah, we can hear the music. Sweet, cool. First time watching live. Sweet, fuck yeah, dude. We lost money this morning. I'll be honest with you. We lost like 10 grand this morning, and I blew my funded account that I had on. I trade on competitor prop firms so I can steal their money and then use it to. I got payouts though. I am profitable trading on competitor prop firms. Yeah, I pay my rent. I pay my rent so that I can keep more money in Maven. I pay myself not a ton of money from Maven, so that more money goes to Maven, and then I trade on competitor prop firms so that Maven can win harder. It's not much money. It's just like a few grand or whatever a month, right? But it's not much money, but like more money goes to Maven. More money goes to Maven, dog. It's smart, eh? I should just run up prop firms and pay all my staff's salary through that way. My Maven sign's not off. No, it's like blue today. We can change the color to anything, dude. I can make it flash too, but I don't like the flashing. It's annoying. But I like orange. Like I love orange for logos, but because of the way the LEDs work, orange is terrible. Orange is the worst color for LEDs because LEDs work on RGB, right? So the most vibrant colors are red, green, blue, okay? So the best color is red, green, blue, and then the secondary best colors would be like purple because it's red and blue. But orange is yellow and red. So it's like just a muted red basically, right? So it's really dull. So I don't know. I kind of like purple or I like blue or teal or whatever, right? Because teal is green and blue, so it's the same as purple. You have two primaries, right? So it can be bright. Okay. Fucking on X, dude. By the way, I took some long. I'm gonna take a long on the Maven account too. Bye. Just cause the regain here, right? We did regain here. So in theory, what we want to be doing is buying up this zone, right? And the 24-hour here, we want to gain that, right? For the day. So in theory, this is the lowest we want it to go for the daily close. So you have a pretty good odds here. You have pretty good odds here for the daily close, right? This is the lowest you want to do. What I'm betting on is that the daily will fail, right? Why? Why am I betting that, right? One, because the 4-hour closed bullishly, okay? And we regain the zone. So I'm expecting that means that there will be upward momentum, at least somewhat, okay? And we're already above that level, right? So they clearly attempted to regain, right? They're clearly attempting to regain this, okay? So anywhere in this zone is a good buy opportunity, right? Because ultimately, what they're trying to do in my mind, right? This is the story I've told myself, right? You never know for certain, but this is what I believe they are doing, right? They're fucking about, bro, right? And also, like, we have to, like, the market has to be saved, right? What institutions, what big guys do is they want to keep the market going forever, right? And they understand how this works, right? So they have to save levels in order to keep the fucking FOMO rolling, right? And they're just going to keep doing that until they can't anymore, okay? Once they can't support it anymore, that's when the market collapses. That's why it collapses so quickly, because they can't support it anymore, okay? So anywhere in here, this is what they have to do. They have to hold this today. Well, they don't have to, but like
Maven
that.
logo blue.
Maven logo is blue, yeah. You want it blue? I think it's blue. Yeah, it's blue today. Put Tory color. What is it? Purple? Tory trades is purple, I think. I like these colors. I like pink, blue, and purple. Like those. And I like greens too, but green's not very vibrant. Also, it's not like a very bright color. So, and I think bright stuff is good for trading. On Twitter here, you can see Sumo's arguing with fucking AJ from Lucid. Lucid is a prop firm in the future space. Sumo's arguing with him. Like, you know, sure, like, respect to Lucid, they blew up out of nowhere. They got a ton of money, obviously. They're obviously incredibly rich to begin with, right? You don't just enter the space fucking huge, especially in the future space. Lucid obviously started with shitloads of money, so because they could market it super well. They marketed very well, right? So they started with tons of money. So, you know, congrats to them. They're making money, but he's been around for like 6 months, dude. Like, he doesn't know shit about the industry. Like, I'm just assuming, like, unless he has been running prop firms on, like, I don't know him too well, but assuming he's just some business guy that came in and started this in this industry, right? He's not been around for all the shit that we've been around for. You know, if you guys have been here for a few years, you've seen what the industry is. You know, obviously Lucid does not understand what the industry is, right? They've been around for 6 months. Sumo's been around for fucking decades, bro, right? And to argue with Sumo is just stupid, dude, right? But people underestimate Sumo, right? Are you trading? Yeah, I mean, I'm in a long. We're basically betting on the fact that the day will not be wrecked, okay? That's the whole bet, okay? We're betting that the daily will close decently well. So along anywhere in here is good, right? I mean, lower would also be better, right? If it goes low, that's better actually, but you know, put a line here. It might go down here even, right? Because they are failing both sides, right? But with NASDAQ showing high volatility right now, what's your top advice for passing? God, dude. I hate these questions. Like, why do you have to specify with passing a Maven, like with passing a prop firm challenge or Maven challenge, whatever? Why do you have to specify how to get a, like, what's my, just ask me what I would do. Like, I don't understand why we have to specify, hey, you're trying to get a payout. I guess it's the same thing as just trading. I don't know why I don't like that. What would be, like, I'm going to just rephrase those questions with high volatility, what changes, right? First of all, essentially nothing. The market is always high volatility, basically, right? But you can look at the volatility index, right? The only thing that changes is the volatility index when things are bouncing around. So you can tell what the volatility actually is by looking at the volatility index, the VIX, okay? Or for gold, the GVZ, okay? So low volatility is like around 10, okay? 30 is high volatility, okay? So we're at 20, okay? So we're right middle volatility. So it's not very volatile right now at all, actually. It's like middle of the road. It's perfectly average volatility right now. So this, like, if you're saying that this is high volatility, like, it's not at all. It's regular volatility. This is absolutely right dead center regular volatility. You can see the volatility index here, right? Low volatility is, you know, 10, 15, right? Maybe 10 is actually super low. Never mind. 15 is low volatility. We're only at 19, so it's actually maybe on the lower side, right? High volatility is above 30, right? So we're not at high volatility, not even close. This is not high volatility at all. Right? And then, like, things like this are like, these are extreme outliers that I wouldn't even count, right? Anything above 40 is an extreme outlier, okay? Right? Like 40 is about the maximum it gets, right? So it's pretty dead medium volatility. So I'm not sure what advice I would give you, but let's say you think this is high volatility, which is not really. Let's say you think this is high volatility. What you do is you just size down. That's it. You manage your risk accordingly, right? And what I do is, like, if you have, for example, let's close this thing, right? So if you have like a trade here, right, on the Maven account or whatever, place an order, right? All you have to do is drag the stop loss, and you can see how much you're going to risk, right? It says here $133, okay? So just make sure you manage your risk. That's the only difference. So when it's higher volatility, you size down, right? So that you can target your levels and you can target your take profit. What you want to shoot for is to size it so that you hit the maximum amount of profit that you're allowed per day and the maximum amount of drawdown you're allowed per day, okay? And that's it. There's no different advice. It is the exact same always, and you just change the number. Do you see how he's always here? He was here this morning too. He comes and he just stands there and meows. He's there every day, always. And then he'll just leave for the rest of the day, and then he'll come back and just meow. Hey, buddy. And just meow. Is the market harder to predict when it's above 30? No, it's easier to predict. If anything, it's easier to predict. Why is it easier to predict when the volatility is higher? Because it's the exact same, first of all, trading wise, but you can default to say, hey, I'm just going to buy. Because if there's high volatility, that means you should buy. Okay. Why is that? Because think about, when is there high volatility? Okay. When is there high volatility? It is only when the market has dumped. Okay. So when the higher the volatility goes, the more likely it is for you to be right when you buy. Okay. Or rather, the more likely it is for you to make a larger profit. Okay. So the market dumped, the volatility maximizes here. Okay. And it's still volatile, right? And it's still volatile, and it's still volatile. So you could buy anywhere in here and you would have made a lot of money, okay? But here, the volatility is low. So you buy and you're not going to make very much money. It slowly creeps up, okay? So your opportunity to make money is highest when the volatility is higher. It's directly correlated. The higher the volatility goes, the more likely it is for you to make larger amounts of money. Talk about now the last hour trading and now past history. That makes no sense. That question makes absolutely no sense, brother. Absolutely no sense. They're drawing. Watch this. Imagine it's like a big monster, Bart. Big winged Bart. That's what we're drawing, bro. Okay. I mean, they're failing these lows, but I want to just look at the, like, they failed to re-enter here, so it still looks like, again, right? There's a little minier trade here, right? I believe it goes for the new high before it breaks this level, okay? Despite it coming down still. Am I in a trade? Yes. Requested my first payout with Maven, also account with you guys. Thanks for the DMC trading. Got a lot easier. You're welcome, brother. I'm glad you're making some money. 15-minute just closed. Just came from YouTube. Here's where it's more active chat-wise. Yeah. Yeah, there's more chat usually in Kick because it's more regulars on Kick. Where did I long from? You can see on the chart. Like, and if you just want me to tell you the number so that you can plug it in yourself, please just fuck off, dude. Like this, the stream is not here for you to just get fed money, right? And I understand people are going to copy trades, but if you want to copy a trade, figure it out, okay? Like, first of all, don't be trading right now. I'm trading because I'm bored. Don't be trading right now. I don't care about this money, right? If you're trading because you want to make money, don't be. Right now is a bad time to be trading. It's the last hour of the day. It's a bad time to be. Do not be trading right now. I'm doing this gambling. This is me gambling. I am randomly trading right now. It's very random at this time of day.
I am full porting on your setup law.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly fine if you want to just gamble and go with me, but this stream is me teaching you how to be a better person, and that includes trading, right? And then sometimes I act like a dickhead too, right? But if you want to use it as a signal group, you can eat my dick, dude. I don't want to be the guy that you just, please, Dad, I want some more. You know? I do not want to be known as the person that you just get fed from. You know what I mean? I really don't like those type of people that just fucking want shit handed to them. I really hate fucking beggars, dude. But I love people trying to figure things out and learn for themselves and practice, right? That being said, we're gonna have a little bit of trades and just see what happens here. There's not much for too much trading, you know, literally. I'm gonna potentially add down here. Because again, I'm hoping that they save the daily, right? That's the hope, right? I hope they save the daily there, right? I get knocked down, but I get up again. I'm hoping they save the daily here, right? So I'm just gonna watch to see if there's either a reaction off this level, or I'll just buy a second one here, and then we can hopefully profit. Do I look at RSI? No.
When will Maven start futures trading?
When will Maven do futures? Not probably not. Maven using your sign-up fees? I don't know what that means, dude. Noticing a market pulse at 350. Is that New York time, I think? Yeah, usually the last 10 minutes of the day are pretty volatile. So you'll see if you want to look here, right? The last hour of the day can be pretty insane sometimes, right? But like it's usually kind of random, right? It's harder to predict because there's a lot more data to look at from the day. But a lot of times things kind of go crazy in the last hour. These ones not so much, but that one did nothing all day. Yeah. A lot of times things kind of pivot right around the last hour, 30 minutes or so. Right? Because people close positions and shit. But yeah. RR. It's not a question. It's great watching you trade futures on stream, but Maven currently only offers CFDs. Is there any plan to bridge the gap to futures? No. And you can trade futures on futures just means CFD data or CME data. You can trade the exact same chart on Maven. That's what I've been trading on. I've been trading on Maven on live stream every single day using the NASDAQ. I just trade the US 100, same thing.
Futures is better than CFD.
Futures better than CFDs. The data feed is better, correct. Futures has a cleaner data feed and lower fees. Okay. Futures, however, you have much higher margin requirements. And it's essentially USA only, right? Unless you trade on a futures prop firm, which futures prop firms are incredibly difficult. Okay. Futures prop firms are harder than CFD prop firms. Which is why they can charge 1/10.
Remember this in chat, meow meow gop gop gop.
Exactly, yeah. I do remember meow meow gop gop. I don't know what that means, dude. You have to close futures for maintenance, correct? You can't really do overnight holds on futures either, right? On futures prop firms. However, CFD firms often have swap fees, which charge you to hold overnight. Futures better spread, correct. There's benefits and negatives to both, right? Here's my point of view, right? I like futures for my personal trading because I am a very good trader, okay? I am a very good trader. So I can trade on harder challenges, right? If I'm looking at just prop firms, right? I can trade on harder challenges because I'm incredibly good, right? And I prioritize the accuracy of a level is super important to me. That is the most important thing to me. So if I'm going to trade on a prop firm, I'm probably going to choose a futures prop firm, okay? The challenge difficulty is not important to me because I know I'm going to make money, right? Now for futures brokerages, it's not possible unless you're American. So that's not even an option at all. And then, okay, so they fail here. Should we add? I'm gonna add a little more there.
Let's do a challenge and record your journey with Top Step or any other firm you like, not Maven.
I've done that many times, dude. I am incredibly profitable in prop firms. I make about 3 to 4x my money. Okay, I've done that for years. Okay, I don't do that anymore. I did that for the first like 2 years of streaming. Okay. Now what I do is I trade Maven funds. Okay, it's different. Same thing but different. Okay. Now then, the next option is CFDs, right? CFDs are welcome globally. They also require the smallest amount of capital in order to invest in like a brokerage because you have the highest leverage, okay? CFD prop firms are incredibly easy compared to futures prop firms. Why? You might think, oh, there's 2 steps. One, it's because there's static drawdown usually. Super easy to make money on static drawdown because all you have to do is make money at all. Like you just have to make money at all. With futures prop firms, you have to make money every day, basically, right? However, there are extra rules, so you can't just fucking full margin. Basically, futures you can full margin, right? And then the other easy thing about CFD prop firms is once you're funded, it's fucking near impossible to lose the account. Once you're funded, you have it for fucking life. You treat that as real funds. It's this, like, let's say you have a $100,000 Maven account. Once it's funded, that's $8,000 of real capital for you, right? If you went to like Top Step, Lucid, Apex, whatever, and you have a funded $100,000 account, you have $3,000 trailing drawdown is what it is. So that fucking sucks compared. First of all, it's less than half the amount, and you can't go into drawdown ever. Let's say you make $5,000 and you could still blow the account and be profitable, right? And then on top of that, when you take a payout, it fucks your drawdown too. So you can't just keep resetting and taking payouts. With CFD prop firms, what you do is you take 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. You just keep doing that. It's near impossible to lose with it. You just stay forever, and you'll get like 10 payouts in a row. Futures do not do that. You have an incredible trading mindset. What specific mental routine or habit do you practice before the market opens? Yeah, cool. Good question. I like this question. There's a lot of things in my life that make me a better trader that have absolutely nothing to do with trading, okay? I have a very balanced, healthy life. I don't eat junk food, right? I have this vape that I vape occasionally, right? I don't always have it, right? I'm not a big smoker, but sometimes I buy them. That's probably the worst thing I do, dude. Sometimes I get bad sleep too. Sleep is really, really important, but my life overall is very healthy and routine, right? I exercise 1 or 2 times a day, right? I get sun every day. But some of the biggest stuff is like making sure you sleep consistently, right? That's my biggest problem, is like sleep timing. Okay. And that's the thing that helps the most. Waking up early so you're alert for the charts, depending on your time zone. I have to wake up really early. But making sure you're mentally adapt and aware and calm, right? So you have to do things that calm you down. Go for walks, meditation, yoga, whatever it is. This stuff calms you down and puts you in a peaceful mindset where you're not hyped up. You do not want to be excited. You do not want to be excited. You want to be calm, right? So what things would make you calm when you go to the charts? I don't know, like a cup of tea maybe. I like tea. Do meditation, prayer, whatever, right? These sort of things. I pray, I do stretching, and I do some breath work in the morning, every morning, like 10 minutes before the first thing I do in the morning, 10 minutes, I do breath work, a couple stretches, and prayer. Okay, and then I go grab coffee or tea or something. I go look at the sun outside on my patio, look at the sun, get cold air for 10 minutes, and then I come and sit down on the chart every single morning. Right? And that routine has made me the most consistent. Doing that in the morning, right? So I get the body moving, I get the brain moving, right? I get the light in my eyes so I'm not sleepy, right? Every single day I wake up and I'm sleepy and I sit down on the chart, I fuck it. Blew an account yesterday, double account today. I got taken out of just before I went on my way. Trailing 4% on futures. Yeah, exactly. Futures is so much more difficult than in prop firm world. I'll say in the brokerage world, futures is easy, right? CFD, personally, if you're trading just your own funds, CFD versus futures, if you're a day trader, futures is the better way to go, I think. But it is not available to most people. It's not really possible for most people to trade futures brokerage, right? Most countries are not allowed, or Canada has some places, but it's incredibly low leverage, so there's not really any point, right? Yeah. Personally, the one that I like the least, is a CFD brokerage. I think they were the worst thing to trade on. Just because if I'm day trading, okay, if I'm day trading, I want the best conditions personally, right? I want the most accurate levels, so I would prefer futures for myself, okay? But if I'm longer term trading, that doesn't matter as much, right? I can just kind of buy and hold and swing play, right? So CFDs are possible for that, but CFD brokerages have swap fees, which just delete all your profits, okay? That's my personal opinion. And then for prop firms, I don't care about how difficult the challenge is, but if you're a newer trader, you should trade on CFDs. If you're not a super good trader, you should trade on CFDs because they're easier. Because your levels are you're not gonna understand things as much as I do, right? So you're not gonna need the super accurate levels. You're gonna be able to kind of buy in like rough areas, right? You're gonna have poor entries anyways because you're a bad trader if you're new, right? So it's not gonna matter as much until you get like really advanced. It's not super important. So if you're newer, I'd go for CFDs. And by newer, I mean like less than 4 years, maybe. And then when you're advanced, I'd probably switch to futures. That's probably my general advice. Probably my general advice. Looks like a bad trade. No, it still looks good to me. This is doing exactly what I thought still, right? So we don't want to get below this level here, right? Because this is the level that brought us to that high, right? Still looks, it's still the exact same trade. Just because it goes against us doesn't mean it's wrong, right? This leg up, right? This leg up, okay? So first of all, as long as it stays within this blue zone, that's our 4-hour zone. That's allowable, right? And then this is a leg up, okay, to that level. And we failed to lose this level, okay, unless I'm mistaken, right? Failed to lose this level. So this is the level that we're contesting right now, right? So it's most likely that this gets touched before below here. Okay, so just because it's gone down doesn't really mean anything. And like, again, everything can always be wrong and we can get multiple things are wrong in a row, but 80% chance, this is my rough odds, okay? 80% chance that this happens before below here, okay? Are you going to do a giveaway? We can do a giveaway. If it closes below, would it be bad? Right. So good question. Okay.
Fire emoji.
So good question. Okay. So I know what you're talking about right here. Okay. So let's say. Okay. So here's an example, right? So we have this candle right here. Okay. And that failed to make a new low. Now, like I'm gonna preface this and say this is not super great because it was already tested, so it is a weaker level. Okay, so it's higher chance that I'm wrong here because of this mess, right? But okay, so let's just assume this is clean, right? We had a wick below this level, okay? We had a wick below this level, right? And then you're saying this candle right here, this pink one, right? You say, oh, it closed below the level now, so it's lost the level, okay? That doesn't invalidate the trade idea. We have this leg and we have this leg. We have 2 legs, right? We have 2 trends, okay? So this one told us that this level is the level behind, the move that brought us to this zone that we just failed to re-enter. And then we have this next level up. So it's 80% chance that it'll go here before it goes here. So just because it comes down here does not mean it's not still going to go here, okay? It does mean that it's more likely for it to come here now, okay? It does mean that, obviously, right? But it doesn't invalidate the idea. It's still in our advantage to be long here, okay? Do you understand the difference, right? It's becoming a worse trade, but it's still a profitable trade, okay? On average, okay? It becomes an unprofitable trade at this level on average, right? And that's what we need to trade. Is we need to trade what is the likelihood of us making more money at all times, right? And the time in which it shifts to unprofitability on average is right here after we saw this candle, okay? And then again, you have this one failed, right? So now that one says, that one's telling us something different. It's telling us, hey, now it's likely for this to happen, right? Okay. So this one now failed, so it's likely for it to come up before this next level back, right? Because we just failed this zone now, okay? We just failed to lose that zone. So here's the leg that brought us up, right? Actually, it's a little bit messy, but it's a bit of a messy chart, but this is my best interpretation of the chart, okay? And then you can also look at the 30-minute and you can say, hey, this candle failed to re-enter that zone. So the leg that brought us up is here, right? So it's a bit lower. There's the leg up, right? So it could come down here on the 30-minute in theory, but anyways. So there's a lot of ways to look at it, of course, and then you just make your best interpretation based off of it, right? Am I bullish on NQ? Yeah. Do you treat the two spikes since this morning same as left? I don't know what that means. Let's do a giveaway. That question made no sense, so let's do a giveaway.
Anyone have got win rate in Mavin?
Does anyone have a 100% win rate on Mavin? No. What? Okay. Type in plus loser because we lost today. There's no chance we're making back that money. Plus loser to enter the giveaway. Oh, 100K one step. Nice. From Maven. That's a huge one, dude. Huge one. Plus loser. 101%. Yeah, nobody has 100% win rate. They have 101% win rate. Okay, let's draw a winner. Marsad, congrats, brother. Open up a ticket with Maven on their website and tell them you won the 100K one step over my stream. Congrats, brother. Nasdaq. Most people are short on the Nasdaq. Wow. COT data is bearish. Yeah. Fundamentally, it's incredibly bullish. Wow. Like incredibly bullish. Fundamentally. So this is actually a perfect time to be bulls, I think, right? See, overall, market has been very, very bullish, right? We've had a pullback, right? So people are switching to the bear side, but fundamentally we're still super bullish, right? So we obviously want to keep trying to long, you know, even if we're not right, it's still the right move, right? This is my opinion, at least. It's like, I don't want to be looking for shorts. I don't want.
What's the biggest payout Mavin have given to the trader, and what was his strategy?
The biggest single payout, 10K, because that's their payout cap per payout. You can get 10K per payout. But the biggest lifetime payout is like, I don't know, like 70 grand or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. And what was the strategy? The best traders, I can tell you the best traders, because I used to do a lot of interviews for traders. I'm not currently doing them. We've set that up with a risk team instead. I'm not currently doing the interviews anymore. And the best traders just trade continuation. That's it. Like there's no strategy. I'm just telling you, the best traders, the ones who have made multi 5 figures, they literally just trade continuation. Right? They look for a pullback, and they check to see that the momentum's still going, and they just trade continuation. Okay? So dumb money concepts is momentum based trading, right? And it's very similar to the best traders, right? They look at levels and they look at continuation. That's it. The ICT traders don't make very much money. This is why I'm so against ICT sort of concepts, is because I know that they don't work, dude. I've seen it. I have all the data. I have all of the data. It doesn't work. I like your routine for preparing to trade. You need something like that to keep yourself grounded. Yeah. Make your goal as a trader should be to be a better trader should have nothing to do with trading, right? And what you want to do is make yourself the most healthy person possible, the most stable, balanced, like not unemotional. You don't want to be a robot. You want to still recognize your emotions. You want to be a very healthy, managed person. And that in turn will naturally just make you a really good trader, because all you have to do to be a good trader is follow trends, right? And then manage your risk accordingly. That's the best way to make money, right? I follow trends. Dumb money concepts is trend-based trading in a very micro version. Basically, it's very short trends.
Traders are scalper, and they also lose fast. I am right.
90% of traders are scalpers. Yes, and the traders who the longer term traders make more money. I can tell you that with certainty. Nearly no scalper makes money. Looking at the data, every single person I interview that was getting payouts consistently, they all trade higher time frames. None of them scalp, right? They either take 1 or 2 trades a day, or they swing trade. Nobody makes money scalping. I'm just telling you with certainty, right? Like that's just the truth. Can you explain why wicks swing highs and lows of candles aren't points of invalidation of a trade? Say that a candle must close ahead of a level, but how is that safe to trade? I use candle bodies. Wicks. So if you're asking about why wicks don't really matter, is because the amount of time. So if you're looking at the chart and you're just thinking about it logically, right? You don't know anything about concepts or nothing, right? But you understand what candles are, right? What is the most important data per candle? It is where the amount of most trading volume happened, right? And what was...
What do you think about the order flow chart, bubble chart, or heat map?
I don't use it. The most important trade data is the candle, okay? The wicks signify something that is unstable. All right, something that didn't spend much time there. So when we're looking at this low here, right, this candle, most of the trade data happened in that time right there, right? And this was very quick, right? On average, again, on average, it could have spent time down here and it just happened to close higher, right? But on average, this is the least significant out of the two. There's wicks and there's bodies, okay? So the less significant thing is the wicks, right? So the wicks mean that it was unable to hold that because it got bought back up, right? So if you look at that, you say, hey, these wicks must have been unstable. So if it's unstable, it means people don't want to be there. Right? So nobody wants to be here, right? So do you think it's going to go back down into it? You see how they're buying, they keep buying it up here, right? There was a wick and then they go down again and they bought it up again. Their wick and then they went down and they bought it up again, right? Because it's unstable. Nobody wants price here. That's all that means. Nobody wants to have price there. It's too cheap. It's too cheap. And that's all you have to know is a wick means it's too cheap there. Or this, you know, a wick on the other side means it's too expensive here. So they sell off. Okay.
Such a cute guy. Why are you not married yet?
Thank you. Why I'm not married. When I was younger, I was a gym rat and focused on, you know, being a boy. And then when I was in my later 20s, I focused on making money. And now that I'm in my 30s, I work from home talking to you guys. I don't have access to many people. Tori is available. No, thank you. I do not want to answer phone calls. Thank you. I'm not interested in women that like money. I think it's very unattractive. Hunter, I watched you years before Maven, just finding out that you're founder. Hey, welcome, brother. Yeah. What's up, Silas? Meow, meow. Do you see how he just comes and just meows and then it's like, that's it. He's just, oh, it's raining now. That's why. You don't want to be outside anymore. Is it hangout time now that it's not fun anymore? There's no bugs to catch, so you come inside. What do you got? He just wants me to scratch him all day. He just wants pets all day. That's what he's. That's what it is. Where is ticket? Open up. Just go to the website and talk to support.
What's his name, Silas?
Yeah, Silas. Yeah. It means like of the. It means of the woods, right? It means of the woods. It's like Latin or something. I don't know. Greek or Latin. I don't know. If you long, I long now with all of my savings overnight. Yeah. So again, if you longed now, you're gambling, right? And I'm gambling. I am in a long. Trading at the end of the day is retarded, really. And I've kind of recently put that to the test. Like this past couple months, I've been trading the opens only, and like my strike rate is incredibly high compared, right? When I'm day trading in the afternoons, it's like it's more or less 50-50. It just kind of bounces around retardedly. Anything after like noon ESTs, like there's not really any point to trade. And I kind of knew that before, but I would like, because I was like on the West Coast, I was so stubborn. And I was like, I can still trade. And I still made a little bit, but like not as much as I am on the open. You know, and then I switched to swing trading for a bit, because swing trading is so fucking easy. But again, it's like if you trade the open, like it's so much more profitable than swing trading, because it's faster. Like you'll take one trade a day, you'll make your money and then be gone, right? Swing trading can sometimes take like months to play out, right? So day to day, if you trade, so like here's the thing, and I could tell you this now, like,
Hey sellers, good morning.
I've tried pretty much every session because I've been around the world trading different sessions and whatnot. The overnight session is really good for a trade. So when the market opens in Asia, you can look at the daily and the 4 hour, right? And then just like make a decision and be like, hey buddy, what's going on? Coming up. You can make a decision and just leave a trade overnight. So you can have one trade leave overnight. Don't do it every day, but sometimes there's a decent setup and sometimes I do that, okay? And it ends up playing out usually pretty well because it's kind of a swing play, right? And then you can take another trade on the open, maybe one or two on the open, right? But the reality is you only want one trade in the overnight session, and you only really want one trade on the open. The afternoon sessions are kind of random and garbage, right? Hey, buddy. Bubbish.
Can sellers catch fishes?
Can Silas catch fish? He catches birds all the time, bro. Okay, here we go. Hopefully let's see how they rip it up. A lot of times, like right on close, they rip up too. Right at 1 p.m. my time, so 4 p.m. Let's see. Hopefully they come up. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Few minutes, we'll chill. We just chill. Anything gay for Pride Month? My birthday. It's my birthday tomorrow, actually. So if it's the gayest thing you can do as a man is celebrate your birthday. And every year for Pride Month, I celebrate my birthday like a woman. Men celebrating their birthday is so cringy. Like after you turn like 22, men should not celebrate their birthday. But I am gonna go for tea. I know that's so fucking gay too. So for my birthday, during Pride Month, I'm going to do the gayest thing by celebrating a man's birthday by going for tea with another man. And the other man's a vegan. Can't get gayer. Cannot get gayer, right? What a good birthday gift. We're going to go drink matcha. We're going to go sit on little stools and drink matcha staring at each other. And then on Saturday, I'm having 4 boys come over and we're going to play music and DJ. No women. 4 of my buddies are coming over, and we're gonna listen to music.
Brown boy.
I only hang out with men now. It's like I don't have any friends that are women. I don't have a whole lot in common with them. I like to just talk about work. Talk about work and music and camping and exercise. That's it. That's all I do, bro. It's fucking rain.
Slack PLS.
It's raining. I left my cushions outside. Fucking good. Slack. Let's see here. Okay. Maven Short sent me something. He says, in numerology, being born on the 26th symbolizes ambition, business.
Where your child gone, I don't see him anymore in stream.
The cat is sitting below me. And sense of strong responsibilities. Yeah, so a birthday of 26. So how it works, if you're into numerology, a birthday of 26, right, is 2 plus 6, which is 8 in numerology. So what you do is you add the numbers together, so it's a singular digit, right? Okay. And so here, so I'm an 8, right, which is, it's all about, I think, yeah. So an 8, if you look into it, right, you can read here, whatever, but basically 8 is the number of all or nothing sort of thing, like a lot of wealth or no wealth, right? And it's been true throughout my life, and you guys can look up your numerology if you're curious of what you're supposed to do. So I'm an 8 birthday, and then I think a 1 for my entire birth year and date and everything. Which is the starter of things, right? 1 is like the masculine, 2 is the feminine, 3 is the child, right? But 1 is the masculine and the starter and the leader, and then 8 is the one of extremes, right? So it really is exactly right? Like I've either been incredibly broke or incredibly rich, and I've never been mediocre, right? I've always been one of the two. And then so what you do is, so if your birthday is 26, right, what you do is you do 2 plus 6, right?
Nar, I don't believe in this.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe in it, but you know, this is how Apple started, right? Like Apple started on a date that was like the best one for their company or something, and like Steve Jobs actually believed in this stuff, right? So I don't know, bro, but it's the like numbers are the math is the language of the universe, right? So I don't know. It's just a weird coincidence to me, and I don't follow it for any reason because there's no, like, it's not going to be beneficial to me to know. It's just kind of curious. But like, let's say, so my birthday is 1994, 26th of June, right? So what you do is you add all of the numbers together. So 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 9 is 19, plus 4 is 23, plus 2 is 25, plus 6 is 31, plus 0, plus 6 is 37, right? 37 is then you get the number 10 when you add 3 plus 7. So 3 plus 7, you get 10, which 10 is just a 1, right? So 1 in numerology, right, represents the spark of creation and the beginning of things, right? It's the masculine, it's the leader, right? So I've always started my own things and then gone either extreme to the extreme on either end. This is me. I start shit and then I fucking take off with it or destroy it. That's what I do. Right? That's my personality, and it's dead on with numerology. Numerology used to be used to ancestors, yeah. It's interesting stuff, hey? Right, rallying up. We're in. Oh, let me show you the MetaTrader on here too, so you guys can see. Homemade wine. The peaches grow. That's too much to talk about. Right on. Rippy dippy doo, baby. Yeah. With a little bit of country fire. Cold beer on a Friday night. And the radio on to sunrise. Do you remember when somebody said, hey, it looks like a bad trade? And I said, hey, no, it doesn't look like a bad trade. It looks like the same trade still, even though it went against us, it's still going to go up. Drive on a price tag on your clothes. There's no dollar sign on a piece of mind. This I've come to know. So if you agree, have a drink with me. Let's close out some. Do a little bit of chicken fry. Make back the money, baby. Make back the money. Market close.
What's your biggest losing trade and winning?
Right, that's the target, bro. Let's close it.
Order filled.
We profited today. We made 3,100. We profited! And a little bit of chicken fry. What, like, it's a fun song, bro, but fried chicken and beer? Revenge trading successful. It was not revenge trading, it was boredom trading, all right? What's the most I've ever lost in a trade? Do you see the target, right? Do you see the target, right? So here's the thing, right? This is what we place the bet on, is that they're going to gain this, okay?
You said I am gambling.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I say I'm gambling, it means I still think that I have an edge, okay? But when I'm trading the market open, okay, and when I when I know with more or less certainty, or I'm doing a longer term trade or something, it's not gambling in my mind because it's such a high win rate. It's like 70, 80, 90% depending on the week or the conditions or whatever, right? The current setup, small time frame in the late afternoon, is so much closer to 50-50. It's like 50 to 60%. So in my mind, that's gambling. Anything less than, but still, you're making money on average. It's just not good enough for me to waste my time, usually. So why am I doing it? It's because I'm bored. I have time, right? That's what that means, okay? Does that make sense? Gambling can still be slightly in your edge. It's just like, is it worth your time, really, right? And sometimes I decide to gamble. Just because I want to trade. What was the most I've ever lost in a trade? Somebody asked. Oh, I don't know. Personal funds? Personal funds that were already in my possession? Maybe like $5,000. Wait, no. Wait, in a singular day, maybe like $5,000. But from crypto, like, and then are we counting unrealized or realized? Like in crypto, I've lost like 70, 80 grand maybe in a like I used to have a lot of crypto when I was younger. And then yeah, that would probably, I've never lost more than 100 grand on a trade. Probably 50 grand is the most. Yeah. But in a singular day of personal money that I already have, wouldn't have been more than $5,000. That would have been the absolute most. And I don't even think it's that high. Okay. The most I've ever made.
Yes, that makes sense.
The most I've ever made in a trade of personal funds was $100,000 on a RSR crypto trade. Okay, and again, that wasn't in a day. The most I've ever made in a singular day of personal funds, again, probably just a few grand, right? And then of like prop funds or Maven funds, like it doesn't really count, right? It doesn't really count, I don't think, right? Because like it's not in my possession. It's like company money or something else, right? So are you this well off because of trading? I don't think I'm that well off, but maybe compared to like other countries, I'm quite well off. But in Canada, I just like I'm like I live like thought I heard some yelling. I live like I'm from the 90s. I live like I'm a guy that worked a regular job from the 90s, so like comfortable. You know what I mean? That's I don't live that expensive, honestly. And the question is, does my money come from trading? No, it comes from owning businesses, right? Businesses have cash flow that are very stable. Trading is just something I do for fun because I'm passionate about it, but I do make money from trading also. Majority of my money comes from businesses, but I do make a few grand per month from trading, and then I make a little bit of money from content, maybe a grand, and then I have a salary from Maven as well. Okay. I make more money from trading than content. I can tell you that for sure. And then I make even more from Maven. I'm from BC, bro. I live on the island. Yeah. Anyways, should we wrap it up there? The market's closed now, so nothing to do. Let's see. They're failing this. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm done, bro. I'm done. Let's chill. Any other investments? Just Maven, bro. I don't have any. I don't even have any crypto right now, personally. I have crypto held under a business. Okay, not in my personal possession. I have some Bitcoin held.
Can you tell us business model that for your kid can make easy money like grand a month?
A business model for a 15-year-old kid that can make 4 or 5 grand. You want to make 4 or 5 grand a month as a 15-year-old kid? No, first of all, not going to happen. I don't know. What I would do as a 15-year-old kid, is don't get a job somewhere. You could obviously get a job at McDonald's or something. Fuck that. Don't do that. But what you can do is, if you're a 15-year-old kid and you're young, play the card of you being young and people feeling sorry for you, right? And being like, oh, that's cute. I want to promote his business. Play that card. So you want to do a service face-to-face business where people can see that you're young and aspirational and trying to figure things out, you know? So people will pay you extra for you being young and trying. So what I would do is I would go offer services to people and then like charge, be like super cheap or free, and then just say I work for tips, right? Because then people will be like, oh, this, like, people overpay. I think depends on what area you're in, Like some cultures might just not pay you at all. But if you did that here, right, cut grass or pressure wash, like go get a pressure washer, go get something that somebody doesn't have themselves, right? Like a pressure washer, or something people don't want to do, like gutter cleaning or something, like something that's kind of difficult for people to do, or cleaning windows or something of houses, and go to rich neighborhoods and then say, hey, I'm doing these services I'm doing them for tips and commissions, right? But depending on your area, like here people would overpay because they people feel bad for you and they think that they want to promote your business, right? But if you're somewhere else where, like, I don't know, if you're in a ghetto, people are probably just going to let you clean and then not pay you, right? But if you're in like a nice neighborhood with like old people, right, that would be good. And then you just play the card of like, hey, I'm a kid just trying to make a living, right? Like, you know, and then be like, I'm just trying to help out with the family, or I'm trying to learn business skills. Any advice for me, right? And then just really soak it in of like, you know, them being your mentor sort of thing. And like, you know, don't beg them for anything because they're not going to want to. Detailing cars would be sick. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like get some cleaning products for the car, go find some nice cars and shit, and just start handing out cards and be like, yo, you know, I work for no, bro. I'm not even gonna read that. Go see if you can like schmooze some old bitches, or you know, some rich dudes, and be like, you know, I'm just, you know, trying to figure out how to run a business, you know, I need mentors, whatever, right? Hey, babash. Hey, babash. Bring kittens to the park and charge people to pet them. Babash. Happy bear. Happy bear.
Now give another advice for year old.
For a 30-year-old? Consulting. Okay, so these are the easiest businesses to start with no capital. You can do some sort of consulting because it is 100% profit. You don't have any product, okay? So develop a skill and then offer to teach people that skill for a fee, right? So, you know, and generally, like skills that help people make more money later, right? So, you know, maybe you know computer programming, right? So if you're 30, you should already have a skill. If you don't have a skill by the time you're 30, you fucked up. Go get a skill, okay? So my world, it was trading, right? So what did I do? I started teaching people how to trade, right? I wasn't that good, but this was like when I was like, what, 26, right? This is like 7 years ago. I started teaching people how to trade, right? It cost me nothing. I made videos to advertise, right? And then I taught people how to trade, and a lot of people during COVID wanted to learn how to trade. So you make a lot of money. Yeah, trading guru, right? That was happened to be what I did. But it ended up being amazing because consulting is an amazing career because you don't have any cost of business. Your cost is your marketing, and then you can just do organic marketing, right? Learn to cut hair. I mean, I think that's probably a bad profession, but is it better to watch on Kick? Kick has less delay, and there's a little bit more chatter on Kick usually. This guy, yeah. Anyways, boys, good luck with all your things. What about OF?
What about it?
Nope. Not even gonna entertain fucking satanic things, dude. Whoa, all this hair, dude. You're losing all your hair. You're getting old, Silas. You're getting old. Your hair's going everywhere. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.